Hey, my name is Noel Angui and I am a personal development coach. On this channel, I share my struggles and some of the lessons I have learned in life. Every Tuesday and every Friday, I am going to upload a new video for you. So if this is your first time visiting, do like, comment, and share. I see people who go about comparing themselves with other people, who compare their financial situation with other people's financial situations. We may have gone to the same school, we may work in the same institution, but we are totally different human beings. As different as our faces are, so are our opportunity sets. Okay, let's talk about, let's say, family. In my family, I am first generation educated in my family. You may be third generation educated. We are not the same. We are not the same at all. Like, I am the first person in my family to have an advanced level certificate. I'm talking about my genealogy, like my generation. Okay. I have seen people that their parents were medical doctors, their parents were teachers, their parents were secretaries, their parents had ordinary level certificate at least. Me? Nope. I am the first. My mom and dad didn't even go to secondary school, so I am first generation in my family to have an ordinary level and an advanced level certificate. So our opportunity sets are different. Talking about maybe family status, I am the first in my family. You may be probably maybe the third, the fourth. Our responsibilities are different. All the firstborns will understand what I'm talking about. You may come from a family that, back in secondary school, we had a teacher who used to insult us. He used to tell us that those of you in this class who do not have a surname should not ask questions. When you talk about those who have a surname, he's talking about those whose families are known, renowned because of maybe wealth, because they are royalty, maybe because they are elites in the land, or counselors or something like that. Now, those of us whose parents fall in any of that category, any of those categories, we don't have the same opportunity set. The way things happen in your family is not the same way things will happen in my family. I know people who have had opportunities just because they bear a particular name. And that name may have, the name for some of them was even their great-grandfather's name. It's not even their father's name, it's not their grandfather's name, it was their great-grandfather's name. So our opportunity sets are different. Our growth environments are different. I grew up in a neighborhood where marijuana was the order of the day, as in it was a normal phenomenon. It was so common. Men sell it, women sell it, children sell it. It was so common. People grow it. We know. You may have grown up in a place where you never know those things. You just hear and you don't imagine, you don't even know how it happens. Some of us, just by inhaling the scent from the smell from other people in the quarter, the truth is we were supposed to be high all the time. Not us taking the drugs per se, but because everybody in the neighborhood is doing that. So those neighborhoods, I grew up in neighborhoods where the marriages were not the best. They were not so bad, but then that's not what I wanted, because you grew up in neighborhoods where you will hardly find a home where both parents are responsible. So you mostly find a home where the parents are there, but one of them is just there, and then one of the parents is carrying all the responsibilities, and it could be the man, it could be the woman. You just grow up in families where there's a lot of dysfunction. Our opportunity sets are not the same. Some people come from families where a large inheritance was left for them by their parents or grandparents. Some people come from families where You are handed nothing. I mean, what you get is what the food you eat now, the education, if at all it is being, if at all it is being sponsored. You know, growing up, at some points I had uncles who were comparing me to their children, because some of their children were my classmates and age mates and schoolmates, and they would be like, "Don't you look at you? Look at where you are. Look at where this other person is." And I ask myself, it used to get me really worried, really, really worried. And then one day I asked myself, of all these my cousins, of all these my relatives who are my mates, how many of them carried corn, boiled corn on their head to hawk in town? How many of them boiled granules to hawk in town? How many of them made these mud bricks out of mud for builders? How many of them did that? Those are things I did. How many of them went to people's farms and worked so that they could be given maybe 1,000 francs CFA or 2,000 francs CFA for a day's job, like from morning, like 8 o'clock to 5 p.m.'s work? How many of them did that? I didn't do it because I wanted to. I didn't do it because I loved to, but because the circumstances, I needed to do that to be able to support my parents in one way or another. So before people come and frustrate you and frustrate your depression that is already there, I always tell people that please don't frustrate my depression. So before people come and frustrate your depression, ask yourself, the opportunity sets they have, do I have? I have looked at a lot of people, and I've come across a lot of people, and I even made statements to them that if I were given the same opportunity set you have been given, I will not be where I am, because you have wasted it. Because we find people with education, with a family name, with a good upbringing environment, in a good neighborhood, and what did they become? I mean, most of them, they are average. Most of them, I can't even hold a simple social conversation with them. So why am I saying this? Do not leave. Some of these, for example, some of these people are single children, like their parents had just one child or two children. In my house, my dad had 7 children. 7, and there were always other relatives in the house. So we ended up being like 12, 13, and 14 in the house. And to feed those number of mouths, clothe them, buy detergent, body lotion, all those things. For people who were barely farmers and just doing petty trading to get along, our opportunity sets are not the same. So where I am now, I don't let anybody's opinion make me sad. I don't, because the life I was handed, I think I have done a good job out of this life I was handed. I know some people are going to come for me. I'm ready for them. Anyway, don't let other people's opinions about you make you depressed or make you feel bad, even for 1 second. Even for 1 second. Don't let that happen to you. If you want me to share more of this with you, comment below. Also, subscribe and hit the notification button so that every time I upload a new video, you will be notified.